With me now, Katy Bourne, the Sussex Police and Crime Commissioner. Hello, Katy.
Hello, Danny. Good morning.
What are you thinking when you're listening to Simon and Henry tell their stories there?
Oh, I so feel for them. I really do. I mean, I was in business before I came into politics, and you know me, I've been bashing on about how important this is to our local shops and retailers to tackle, the shop theft that's going on for years. But I am delighted, Sussex Police are a lot more robust in this, and you heard from Mr. Lawrence that they did catch the three individuals, and they're up for sentencing and in court shortly, which is good news. But it is an ongoing issue.
Yes, of course. There's no that they've not been found guilty, all of them yet, so that's still trial to take place. But in terms of that thing that Henry said there, no one seems to care.
Yeah, I mean, that was heartbreaking, isn't it? But because, genuinely, we do care. And certainly the work that I've been doing over recent years around this has been just as much as I can to tackle the organised crime gangs working nationally across police forces. And I'm really delighted that, I led the fight back against that, and the Pegasus partnership that I established with the big retailers is really seeing some results from a national point of view. They've had over 600 individuals identified who weren't on police radar. They've had nearly 200 years worth of prison sentences given out and 22 deportations so far, and that's just in 2 years of getting this set up. But at the local level, for me, first of all, I want to say Worthing is not a horrible town. Worthing is a beautiful town to live in. There's a lot going for it. It's got thriving restaurants, and it's got an amazing town centre. But I do understand that if you are a victim of these crimes, how depressing it can feel. And with businesses at the moment, they've had an increase in national insurance. There's been a hike in the minimum wage. Business rates are high. You've got the new workers' rights coming in. Energy costs are up. I mean, it's no wonder that most of our independent businesses are now just focused on survival rather than growth. And so how can we help them? But by stopping people wandering into Henry's shop and wandering out with a £500 bronze because he's been distracted by one of their accomplices or something like that. What more can we do, either policing wise or town centre management wise or security wise, to help them? Well, the first thing we had to do several years ago was understand the volume of the crimes that were happening. So the public were telling me, and businesses were contacting me to say this is an issue. And that's why we introduced quicker reporting methods. And Worthing was one of the town centres that we trialled our pilot for faster reporting in. So it made it much easier for certain businesses to report crimes. Some businesses were more susceptible than others. And we worked with them, and we saw this massive increase in reporting, which is why, unfortunately, press picked up on the Worthing's the town centre for shop theft in the country. No, Worthing is the town centre that understands the problems. So we know how many crimes there are, then we can tackle them. So the resourcing from Sussex Police has been very directed at Worthing and other areas where we've been able to capture this data and information. So, and actually in the last year, we've seen it starting to work. I know that there's been an 8% drop in shop theft and crimes of that nature in Worthing in the last year. The solved rates are up, which means that the police are catching people. But what they've been doing is targeting those prolific offenders, the ones that everybody knows that come back in time and time again. And I've also introduced tagging. So we're tagging the prolific offenders. So when they go to court and they get their criminal behavioural order given against them, they put a tag on them, but they also put a positive requirement on it that if they are driven by an addiction, which most of them are, they thieve to fund a drug or alcohol addiction, they have to attend a rehabilitation class to really tackle that, because unless you tackle the root cause, this won't stop. And that's why we're starting to see improvements. But of course,
But it's come too late, hasn't it? For those two shop owners we've heard for, and that's going to further empty out the town of some unique shops.
Yes, I mean, it does break my heart to hear this genuinely, because I know how difficult it is having run my own business. And as I said, businesses are now, with everything piled on against them, they are focused on survival rather than growth. So the more that we can do as Sussex Police to make sure that shop theft and these kind of attacks are really tackled positively, then we definitely will. But it is not all doom and gloom. Sussex Police are really leading the way on how they tackle shop theft and the tagging pilots we're doing. We've got other forces now coming saying we want to do this as well, and tackling that root cause, getting these people into some form of rehabilitation to actually stop that addiction in the first place will drive a lot of the crime out.
And we'll hear from Sussex Police themselves in an hour's time. For now, thank you. Katy Bourne, Police and Crime Commissioner